Another unrelated question is, it's nothing to do with meditation. Who built the pyramids?
There are many pyramids. Were you referring to the pyramids in Egypt?
Yes, sir.
The Giza pyramids, yes, they were built by the Egyptians, but they built it by technology which is not known to us. The technology they used to move things was different from the technology we use now. In a way, we have become more crude in our technology, though we think we have advanced a lot. We have not reached that point when we can move things without the use of other forces than gravity. You will find it is going to come. You will see that same technology come back in this very civilization toward the end. The secret, now this is some difference, unrelated question, please. We're talking about technology now, all right? The technology that will come, which was used, shows that you have means to reverse the flow of gravity into any direction you like. And that will be used for all vehicular movement. It will be used for all mobility. There will be no need of petroleum, gasoline, this power, wind power, solar power. These will all become obsolete because the one power that exists, one energy that exists in abundance throughout creation is gravity. And gravity will be utilized. Let me give an example, a little story. In Flagstaff, the Grand Canyon, near Grand Canyon, lived a farmer. And he had an experience with a strange kind of aircraft that landed on his field. Now, we don't know whether that was really what people are talking of, but his experience, I'm telling you. His experience was a bright shining object, circular object, was shining on top of his farm and would disappear. Again, it would come after a few days and disappear. Finally, it came bigger and became very big and landed on his farm. This farmer is not highly educated. He doesn't know anything about technology. So when he saw that big thing land, he said, there must be a new kind of aircraft. Of course, aircraft are not built in that size nor in that shape. But he didn't know that. Then he saw there were windows. It's a circular thing, and there were windows which opened and closed like this. The windows opened, and some persons wearing masks, gray kind of thick masks, wearing them, were peeping outside and moving their heads like this. He wondered what happened. They beckoned to him to come near them. And he said, this must be some new kind of show that has come up here. They're calling me. So they opened a ladder like an aircraft and invited him in. Then they spoke. They spoke like a recorded voice. When you put on a radio, there's a background noise to it, you know that. Against that, you hear the voice. If I'm talking to you, you don't see that background. If it's a recorded voice, there's a sha, then sha behind that recorded voice. It looked like they were not speaking their voice. They were replaying some recorded voice. In the recorded voice, they said that we are here in your farm because you are not a technology man, and we want to give this message to you that there are people living outside your universe. And we have just come to tell you that we will be making contact with you, that we fly in this kind of aircraft, and we are speaking to you through the recorded voice of other human beings like yourself. And that this aircraft which we are using will be the aircraft of your future also. And then they began to explain 3 big boxes that were lying there inside that cockpit of that aircraft. They said these 3 boxes are the means by which we travel. All they contain are methods to create gravitational plates. We create electromagnetic plates. And they explained, and he tried to remember because he was not a scientist at all, that what we do is we create electromagnetic plates which help us to go anywhere we like. They gave an example. They said, have you seen a waterfall? He said, yes. If you put a plate under the water, do you know what is pulling the water down? It's gravity of the earth that's pulling the water down. If you put a plate under that, the same water hitting the plate goes upwards. What is taking the water upwards? The same gravity. Supposing you tilt that plate and the water falls through gravity and hits the plate, it will go this way. That means just by moving the angle of a plate, you can create a direction of the use of a gravity that's only pulling in one direction. You can change the direction of this gravity wherever you like. We create, through these three machines here, enough electromagnetic plates, which the gravity pulls us, and when we alter it, we can fly anywhere in space we like. They said all other means, fuels, are limited everywhere in space except gravity. With gravity, you can go to any part of the galaxies, any part of space. And one day, your people will be doing the same thing. But since, if we brought this experience to a technocrat, to a people who's a scientist, people will say, he made it up, this story. You cannot make up this story. This man, the farmer, told his neighbor, whose name was Vern Tyler, who was a friend of mine. Vern Tyler narrated this story, but he was so fascinated, he also had experiences with those people later. When I heard this story, it made great sense to me, because I have myself experimented and said that the magnetic forces can be created by electrical circular movement of electricity. Electricity can be created by magnetism, and electromagnetic force is now recognized to be the single force, not two forces. And it can create a plate. We have created plates now. We are moving in that direction, but technology will come to this path many, many years later. And then we will be able to use that device.